Hello and welcome to Urban Chickadoodle. My name is Melissa. If you are new here, welcome to our flock. So the question of the day is, should you let your chickens roam in your yard? So I'm going to tell you the pros and cons about having your chickens roaming around in your backyard. So if you want to know, stay tuned. So if you can see, they want out. Once they got a taste of freedom, they want out so bad. So we're going to let them out and we're going to talk to you today. So the good about them roaming around is they kind of till up your yard. So they make it healthy. They poop all over, which also makes it really healthy. They eat all the bad bugs in the yard. So that's good. And our yard is really big. It's not even 1/4 of an acre, but it's really big. And so if you're wondering, hey, will my chickens try to get out? Will they try to fly away? You can trim their wings, which I did put a video on how to trim chickens' wings. But also, if they're perfectly fine, like if you have a nice big yard, they don't really try to go out or try to venture out. They're perfectly fine in here, and we don't let them out all the time anymore, just because they just make too much of a mess, and they get like kind of bored, I guess, and so they get into everything if you let them out all day. Which, of course, if you are on a big farm, it doesn't really matter. You can let them roam all around and it's fine. We are in a neighborhood, so we do not want them to roam around the whole neighborhood, right? But it's fine for them to run around in the back. So this is our patio out here, and if you can see, all this brown stuff all over the patio is, yep, it is chicken poop. So that is really annoying. Like every time you come out here to do anything in the yard, you want a nice barbecue. And this, I've already cleaned up the patio, so it's not like I've just left this poop on forever. And it kind of, even when you do clean it up, kind of leaves marks like this. So a lot of times people say if you only put them out for a couple hours a day, then they won't be up on your patio as much. They'll be wanting to roam around in the yard. And I actually don't find that to be true, because they want to be on the patio and they want to wait for you to come out and bring them treats. And even if they do roam around the yard, this is the other bad side effect. If you see, we had all of our nice bark in here, and all they do is kick the bark all over, and that's on our patio as well. They kind of ruin, if you see, they dig everything up. So this is to keep all the, weeds out, and they just scrape all of this up. This is supposed to have a border. They kick it up. There's no border right now. So when your chickens are hungry, even if they're not, this is what they'll do. They'll just keep walking in front of you and almost cut you off wherever you go, which is cute, kind of. But if you're kind of in a hurry and you're trying to like do garden work, it's wherever you go, it will be right at your feet, and you will literally almost trip over them. Trying to get through, and made it one step. So like I said, it's kind of cute, but it can get annoying if they just almost trip you all the time. So originally I wanted them out so that they could eat all the bugs. We have tons of ants, potato bugs, that we get in here. But the problem is they have really moved our garden around. So you can't even tell that this is actually supposed to be like a vegetable garden area. These were broccoli, and broccoli stays pretty good all year round, but they have really torn it down. Every time it starts to get a little green on it, they eat all of it up. So if you can see, we're gonna have to redo our garden this year. But it is fun watching them just run back and forth, or they'll follow you everywhere you go, and that's kind of fun. And they come out and say hi to us, and we can pet them, and they talk to us. Hey, Blackberry. And so it's just kind of fun watching them. But yeah, I mean, who wants poop on their deck when they're having guests over barbecuing? Who wants to have to step through the challenging obstacles on here, you know? So once spring comes and we start getting fruits and vegetables, we will definitely clean this up and put the chickens back in their coop. So the question you might wonder is, why do people free range their chickens? Well, the reason why people free range their chickens is because the eggs that you get from your chickens are so much healthier. Or if you say butcher chickens as well, your meat from your chickens, so much healthier. They eat the bugs, they eat the grass, they just get so many good minerals and stuff, and they put it back into the eggs. Plus, when you free range them, you do not have to buy as much food from the store. You don't have to purchase as much poultry food. Another good reason is they get exercise. When they're in the coop, they can fight, and that's not always good. They have done that before, where you see them the next day and they are kind of bloody, and you have to take care of them because they pick on each other. They get really bored in the coop. You have to find stuff to entertain them, basically. Oh, there. Oh, what did she do to you? Can you believe that? I know. It's crazy. So, just tell me all about it. But it is a lot of fun having them run around, but like I said, there are pros and cons to having them run around. But really nothing is sacred. They'll even jump up on our picnic table bench and poop on top of it. They'll jump into my planters and eat out of it. They'll eat in these planters too. They really dig into everything and eat everything up. So even though I let my chickens roam around, I always make sure at night to lock them in the coop. They always go, once it starts to get dark, they always go to their coop to roost. And so I go ahead and shut the coop every night. If I do not, they are up super early, and let me show you. They come right here and they stay right by our window, which is right by our room, which is right by our bed. Therefore, if we let these little guys out, they always come right there in the morning and wake us up. So that is one thing I have learned, is to make sure to lock them in the coop at night so they don't wake up bright and early and wake us up. So the question is, should you let your chickens roam around? Well, they're pretty cute roaming around, but we only let them roam around during fall and winter and kind of the beginning of spring. But once like the lettuce starts coming up in our yard, or we start planting our vegetable garden, we do not let them roam around, because they just make a giant mess, a disaster. They tear up everything, they till up everything, which isn't always good, especially when you have a really nice yard.